Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Was getting everything ready to go, and we're about done now then, so that's awesome. It's definitely an earlier stream than normal, and the reason being I had the turn this morning, I thought, you know what, might as well get it done now, but at least we can actually go ahead and spend a little bit more time, potentially today, and maybe even finish the turn within the day, so that's going to be quite fun. So we'll go ahead and see if we can actually manage that today. Of course, that does actually very much depend on what Mr. Danman has in mind for us, really. I didn't mean to open up the windowed one. Gonna have to open the full screen in a moment. There we go. Okay. I do hope everybody's well today. How are you guys doing? I can imagine it's fairly early for some of you. It's about 2 o'clock here in the UK. Very muggy today. Okay. So we're looking for a free here. Don't let the door hit you. We're the good lord. Can't quite read that one. Here we go. No, I didn't actually get a chance to do this summary. I got the turn before I actually did the summary, so I thought, you know what, we might as well skip this summary for this once, and at least we can get into the new turn there. We do have a number of things that will be going on today. We will have some rather large battles, which would be quite nice. We should see the fall of Nanyang today. I'd be surprised if we don't. If we do see that, that's going to be quite nice. The hex to the north, I can't recall which hex it is. To the north of Nanyang, we should fall to our forces today as well. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, there we go. We are sweeping mines now to Singapore, which is good. Yeah, I figured out what it actually was then. So what you need to do is actually set the task force destination. So there we go. We are sweeping the mines now, which is excellent. There's 16 DMSs there, so ideally that will clear it pretty much out today. That would be excellent. I mean, there are 20, 30 mines there, 31 mines. That's a lot of mines. 29 mines. I bet you got ones doing here single mines. It looks like it might be about cleared there. We'd have to take a look. Hey, Dylan Vulcan, good to have you, my man. Right, so we do have... Ooh, that is fortunate there. Yeah, this is the issue here. I'm sending the Destroyer to Raphael here. So we do see Sea Raven in this area. As far as I'm aware, I think there's about 3 or so siblings in this area. There could be more. We do desperately need to have ASW squadrons in this area, but we don't have the actual pilots available for it yet. I mean, we could put together a squadron, but we have made the decision to actually wait a little bit longer, so we can actually get them out there with sufficient training. But that's fine. We do have a ship over here docked to unload supply. There's 3 Ansoyo PBs moving down here to Tulagi as a fast transport to unload supply. Ideally, they actually make it. Okay. I mean, that would be quite nice if they actually did make it and actually got supply in there. And the alternative is I fly supply in, or I go ahead and pull the aircraft from Tulagi back to somewhere like Rabaul. Now, we did see shipping to the south, actually, near New Caledonia area. I do have some submarines heading out that way, so we'll see if we do pick up on anything. I'd like the information, to be honest. I've told them to patrol in deep water, so ideally that does keep them protected. We'll see. Right, we do see subs out that way. Yeah, it's interesting seeing the AKs at Moresby. Right, okay. So I'm moving a number of ships towards Indiotok to pick up a base force there, which I'm looking forward to. Right, we have AVs there. I'm going to have to try and get them safely to the Bardwab. Ooh, so he's using B-17s out there on ASW, which is interesting. And I can imagine that's quite nasty, actually. I don't know how good they would be at it, but they do have a fair bomb load. They also do have a fair range. Right, so I have set up a strike over here. Unfortunately, they're heading to Batavia, so we might see a few of them go down here, but we'll see. We are going in low. We do have 10 key 43As. Yeah, I can imagine. Damaged one of them there. Oh, we do have an Oscar shot down though in turn, which is not good. We'll speed things up here then. So we do make it through with 1 Oscar shot down. So we do see the AK William. How come we're using bombs? That's interesting. They should have torpedoes, actually. Unless I forgot to change them to torpedoes. Maybe. I'm sure they're on torpedoes, so we'll see. Need to double check that set in. Yes. Okay, so we do have a bomb raid coming in over here. Continuing to hit the actual airfield, which is nice. Yes, this is a problem when I do the turns late at night and try to get them done quickly. There's little things I apparently end up forgetting. But I could have sworn they had torpedoes, but we'll see. I might have forgotten to actually enable them to use torpedoes. Now we will have a bombardment of Manila here today with our artillery from the actual units in place. So I'm looking forward to actually trying to get a sense of what he actually has there in terms of like AV. It would be really quite nice to see what he has, just see what units that are. Now Manila should have something around about 500 AV on the start. Well, that's actually really quite successful today then. 25 hits on the runway, 4 airbase hits there. No aircraft taking damage there, looking very good, looking very slick. Have a little bit of my coffee, wake myself up a little bit more. Okay, 4 hits there. I decided to actually have the 65th Brigade march in combat mode rather than the movement mode. I think it is actually better that they go in combat mode, even if they're going there slower, so I'm not going to be actually attacking yet anyhow. We'll have bombardment today. They're then likely to arrive next turn, but it means there's another day where they are there in that hex, which might dissuade him from doing anything nasty. So we are seeing a fairly successful day against the airfield in Manila. That's quite good. Not seeing much in the way of damage either, which is good. Runway ahead there. Okay. We do have the beginning of the Java invasion today. We won't be landing, of course, today, but we do have our forces actually moving to be in a position to attack. They've been heavily capped. Right, so it looks like he's trying to hit the ship and potentially hit... I think he came in on a ground attack, was it the other day or something? I can't recall which one it was. We do have their 6 Key-43s defending. I think we should have a couple more join. We also do have 3 flak units over here as well. One rather... I think it's a flak regiment, if I recall. We have 2 of them with around about 1,000 load cost and one with about 2,000 load cost. So a decent amount of the 75mm guns, I think it is. I don't mind getting the chances to actually shoot his aircraft like this. It's nice. It's good training as well for the pilots. Okay, it's coming in at 10,000 feet apparently. There we go, into 1 down. How they turn back. There we go. That's what I want to see there. Raid spotted there. Okay. Oh, I see. Right, so we are seeing the H-81s continue to escort Buffaloes over here. He's actually hitting the goo this time. It's not hitting the unit to the north there. We are seeing quite a lot of units being disabled, but I've got to imagine that's due to the supply issue there. We do have supply moving in there. It's a little bit disconcerting about the amount of disabled there. They're not destroyed, but I don't like that. It doesn't particularly matter considering that they will still fight, but it's rather intriguing. We will have zeros shifted to the north. We do have the Tojos at Chiang Mai as well, so we'll be able to start protecting them and trying to like dive on them as well. He's not dedicating a huge amount of the H-81s to it. So one good attack should shoot down a good number of like Hudsons ideally. Shoot down his actual escorts too, that'd be nice. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely updating PPY or something now, it seems. Looks like he just buzzed up with the Baldoir. Okay. So fairly quiet. Ah, there we go. I'm looking very much forward to this, so we'll be able to turn this base over here into a proper fortress shortly, which is going to be excellent. We'll begin building that area up now. That is going to be a general defense base as well, which is fantastic. I do have a number of actual construction units on the way down there. Here we go, we do have our shock attack at Danyang. So we do see broken remnants of the formations from up along this road here. We do see a, wow, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a lot of actual headquarters there, holy moly. So the 41st Chinese Corps there is a bit of a problem. 90th can be, yeah, 92nd is their strongest unit over here. Now we do have 4 divisions, we do have, well we have 2 armies actually in this, we have the 12th and the 13th army that are actually helping our forces here. I do have another 2 armies over here that will be contributing to the battle ideally, and we do have the China Expeditionary Army Headquarters, which is the command headquarters that is actually contributing to the battle by having their preparation set over here as well. So we should be able to annihilate them. Did I have a unit of my own destroyed there? Or it might just switch to showing different units. I'm not entirely sure there. Or something dropped there. I'm not too sure what just happened there. I saw something shift and I didn't quite catch it. So this is a problem of having to like keep an eye on the chat and keep an eye on like the actual settings. Okay. I mean, with shock attacking into clear terrain, I don't imagine he has much in the way of fortifications. We should ideally overrun him here. The best case scenario would be they actually retreat like this way, but then more than likely going to retreat towards the end. We'll have a shock attack here as well, actually, which is going to be quite fun, but we just need to burst up this road here. I've actually gone ahead and ordered additional, I moved some key 15 BAMs over here to give us additional reconnaissance of the Xi'an. So ideally that reveals that information to us that we do need. Yeah. I mean, ideally we can inflict as much of a loss on them as possible here, really. I'd rather not fight them in ×3 terrain. It does become harder. Yeah, you can see that core being evaporated there. 41st now coming under attack. I mean, the tank should absolutely butcher them. So we have 10th Tank Regiment there. Yep, you can see. Oh, there we go. He's had another unit destroyed there. Very nice. 92nd Chinese Corps, though, hasn't taken much in the way of damage yet. 5th attack in the 41st, it seems. 11th attacking. Yeah, there you go. So the 41st then is being slaughtered here, which is good. If we can try and take down the 92nd, we're quite happy there. Medium artillery bombarded. Okay, there we go. So it looks like I didn't quite get the 92nd there, but that's fine. So we do capture Nanyang as predicted, and they are forced to retreat there. So are they... yeah, as expected, they're going towards the end there. And so we will march north and we'll continue to pursue them. I was hoping against hope we might have been able to force them to retreat in another direction, but it was never going to happen, really. Yeah, towards the end. And that's fine. It looks like they have one... so the 36th group surrenders there. That's nice there. It would have been nice had more of them surrendered, but oh well, I'll take that. So they move out of there, kicked out of Nanyang quite handily there. So we had 2,232, he had 847 there. Adjusted there tells it all. 3,044, 221 there. So we had 13 to 1 odds there. Yep. So we had quite a few vehicles destroyed there, but then again, that is to be expected. Vehicles, of course, can be tanks, it can be trucks, etc. But not bad, actually. You think 46 for what we've gained here is pretty good. So 3 squads destroyed, 170 disabled, 32 engineers, sorry, non-combatants destroyed, 22 disabled, 1 engineer destroyed, 21 disabled, 71 vehicles, 46 destroyed, 25 disabled. That's fine. We just... oh, we did have a unit destroyed then. I wonder if that was one of the tank units. There was a weaker tank unit, actually, that might have been destroyed. That's interesting. We can reconstitute that, though. Yeah, there we go. We do inflict, though, in return, 16,628 casualties, 750 squads destroyed, 192 disabled, 677 destroyed, non-combatants, 93 disabled, 108 engineers destroyed. Destroying the engineers is important there. 10 disabled, 70 guns there, 45 destroyed, 25 disabled. Yeah, there was one that had about 8 AV. I'm surprised it was destroyed, actually. But, there we go. So, 12 units retreat there, 2 units were destroyed. So, pretty good. I was hoping for slightly better. I was hoping that we could have actually hit the 92nd, I think it was the Chinese Corps there. Yeah. So that one is the only one that actually has some AV, but we'll be able to move north then. We do have our shock attack over here, yep, against the 96 Chinese Corps. I can imagine the 96 Chinese Corps isn't going to fare anywhere near as well. Ideally, we can force this corps to surrender. And it's beautiful being able to concentrate. And that's what's amazing about this. It's like you see all these artillery, well, all these artillery units fired up over 96. That's a lot of firepower come down on one unit. A lot of firepower. So that's brilliant news. We do have all the engineers, all of the actual divisions as well. We do have headquarters support actually, but I would like to get them a little bit closer to them. I need them actually within the force there. They're a little bit behind, but we'll get them moving up. But no, we're looking good here. We'll be able to drive on towards SunYan now. We're driving in close over here as well. Ideally, we see this corps actually forced to surrender. That'd be excellent. Yeah, there's going to be a couple more units here. Likely a unit along every single hex here. But that's fine. It'll delay us, but ultimately we are closing in now. We do have a couple more divisions here. I'm moving 2 divisions from Wuchang to Hankow. So what we're going to do is start cleaning up over in this area as well. Just really try and drive as hard towards Xi'an as we possibly can. I mean, the main goal is to be able to get to Xi'an and then capture Langchao. And then we can just try and annihilate. Just try and capture all of northern China. And I mean like way out there in northern China. If we can do that, achieve the victory that I think we'll be able to achieve in Burma, we should be able to see China wither on the vine in time. Yeah, there you go. Well, this is it. I mean, if we could get to Chongqing, I won't say no to it. I don't know if we'll be able to get there. But I mean, maybe we can. Maybe we can force it. We'll have to see how things go. If we move quickly enough, we might be able to just not give him that option, really. I mean, I'm going to be concentrating on the north, but if the opportunity is presented, we can go ahead and take it, really. Yeah, that unit's going to be buggered there. It's going to be buggered. Oh, that's a lot of artillery. So the beauty of the artillery is it's really great to grind down the enemy as well. So yeah, 3,140 to 19. Oh, it actually retreats. Oh, I was hoping it would be, Oh, and it retreated over here. Okay, that's interesting. That, I don't know if that's better or worse, actually. It doesn't particularly make a difference, but we'll march over here. There's likely going to be a unit here. Okay, that's fine. He's helped us against tanks and heavy artillery from Manchuria. Well, that's it, isn't it? So we had 384 casualties, so 15, yeah, just a couple disabled here. I was hoping we could have destroyed the unit. It wasn't a very strong unit to begin with, but 229 there. 3 disabled. I mean, the core's more or less butchered. I was hoping a little bit more there would have gone in our favour. I mean, 3,140... I mean, come on, 165 to 1. I was hoping we could have destroyed it. I mean, that would have been nice. Maybe if we had, like, another modifier here. He had leaders plus and minus. Disruption. But that's fine, I'll take it. We do have a deliberate attack against Kao Ping, however you want to pronounce that, which is the 34th Chinese Corps. Ideally, we drive that. Yeah, so we captured that. Where does it retreat to? Oh, shit. That's not good. See, this is why I should have had a unit there. God damn it. That's rather annoying. We'll have to send a unit to deal with that, then. That's rather annoying. Yeah, no, I'm aware about that with Chongqing, but then again, it's one of those of, like, if we can just keep plowing through them. Units that retreat, they, as we just saw there, they head somewhere else. That one's moved into position, which I would have preferred it not to. But even if they respond with 1/3 of their table of equipment, it's a case of he's going to have that time. I know what you're saying, but it's one of these things that we have to push forward as quickly as possible. We can't be taking considerations of, like, well, we don't want to destroy them. If they get destroyed, they get destroyed. As far as I'm concerned. It's warm here in the UK. It's really stuffy. Right then, so we do see then regimental combat team. That one's pretty much shot. Has a second Filipino Constabulary Regiment there at 94. He doesn't really have much in the way of strength. 31st Infantry is probably the best unit, because that's actually US. Oh, there we go, 71st. Yeah, so he has a super main defenses over here. Philippine Corps. No, we should be able to grind through that. We'll see what the actual result is then. And the bombardments actually having some... Oh, there we go. We have the first Filipino infantry there. That's 109, well, 139-ish. Okay. So we have a couple guns destroyed on our own side, and 2 destroyed there, 1 destroyed there, 16 disabled, 4 disabled there. So we're looking at about 818 there. We do have 65th Brigade coming here then, so we should be able to grind this down. It's pretty similar levels to what we experienced in Clark, actually. But the issue is, he doesn't have that... It doesn't have all the extra terrain benefit that we do. Well, that he did there. Okay. There we go. We have our shock attack over here then, with elements of the 15th. Yeah, they retreat towards Uncanny. Oh, that's good. They actually retreat along there. That's good. So I actually have the 35th Division moving there. So that makes their life a little bit easier there. So he's lacking supply. How you doing there, Soul Delivery? Good to have you, my man. Right. Ooh. Okay, that's a stronger call than I thought it was, actually. So that's not good. That's not good. We still forced him to retreat, but that wasn't good. Oh, okay, we got out there quite lucky, actually. Holy moly, we got out lucky there. I didn't realize there was an actual core, but that's really encouraging there. Ooh, thank God for that. Right, we have our deliberate attack over here to take this base, then. Right, there we go. So we capture the base. Oh, I tell you what, I did not sleep well last night. So bloody warm. So I can imagine the actual commentary on this one isn't as great. None of it's ever amazing. Yeah, not bad overall, really. I would have preferred maybe the single court had been actually destroyed. But hey, well. Okay. Okay. I should be back in just a moment here. Be right back. Sounds like somebody's knocking at the door. Be right back here. Whew. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to go and get the door there. Okay. Ah, so warm. So utterly and terribly warm. Right then. No, not bad turn then overall, actually. Would have liked to see maybe a few more results, but honestly, we had a pretty good one. I do wonder if we see anything in the south. That's going to be the consideration here. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the aircraft losses and pilot losses. Well, sorry, aircraft and ship losses. So, key for the reasons. We had one to air to air, we had one to ops. That's a shame. I really hate losing the H6K4s. A G4 there, G3, and a B339. So at least we took that. Not amazing, really. Ship sunk today, then. Nothing listed. We did hit something with a bomb. I thought these guys were actually given torpedoes, but I must have actually... I don't know. Ah, yes, I must have forgotten. Yes, I remember setting these settings, but it was late last night, so it looks like I should have had that as torpedoes. How you doing there, Mark? Yeah, the heavy industry in Singapore's been activated now, I don't know, what, 2 days? Something like that. I don't know. I contemplated actually expanding the airfield here, and I think it's probably worthwhile doing so just so we can actually upgrade without any issues. I think having a size 7 airfield should be great. Okay. It's a very nice base as well. It does help to protect us. I mean, Singapore is fantastic because if we can actually protect Singapore, it does offer us a hell of a lot. Alright, okay. Shouldn't cost us too much to expand that. I think I can spend on a couple of luxuries like that. Right, let's see then. So we are recovering here pretty quickly. Hi, Dimmer Alexander. Good to have you, my man. Yep, they are recovering quickly enough. So the headquarters over here then. Yeah, they're still here. I'm using them here just so I can actually have them give their support to the units to recover quickly. Let's see. I'm not going to repair that. I may repair the heavy industry, but I'm not as... I'm not likely to repair it in Singapore. Maybe, but I don't know. But production is on there. Yeah. Repairing the repair shipyard is a no-brainer, but I don't know about heavy industry in Singapore, because it's one of those where it can be held onto for a long time. I'd imagine if we can manage it. But I don't know. It's just too far forward, in my opinion. And it can be cut off, which is the problem there. Sure for. Ah, there we go. So, yeah. We had a unit here that was actually a much smaller TOE, so that one can be rebuilt then, no problems. A little bit of a shame there, but it's only 2 points there to recall it. Yeah, 2 political points. And also, we'll go to Tokyo, so we'll have our reform then, we'll have our recalled there. A little bit of a shame there, but not too bad. Okay. And we have actually passed him now in the score, which is very nice. So we are racking up the amount of VPs for hitting the Chinese forces so far, which is pretty nice. So we do see a unit over here, which is the one that we kicked out. Yes, there's 2 units over here. There's a unit here. We see 6 units in SunYan now, so I did actually get the reconnaissance out there. So we do have that working for us. Okay. It's a little bit annoying considering I have units behind my lines now. But I could probably have a unit sent. I was really considering sending a unit there. It does actually delay the army movement there. That's rather annoying. In all honesty. But at least they'll be available to help out here as well then, so that's not too bad, I guess. Yeah, kind of annoying though. So there's 3 units there, that is rough terrain. What I might do then, let's see. I could divide that unit perhaps. Let's see. They do keep that progress, so that's fine. What I'm going to do then is actually have a unit march into the rear here then to deal with that unit. So that is the C detachment, which is about 141 AV, so that's more than sufficient to manage that. Now, that's not too bad. Supplies not going to be much of a problem considering we're moving up here anyway. It would have been nicer to have a road there, but it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I was hoping that they would have been able to... I don't know. I suppose this is it because we didn't have them blocked in. Oh well, we'll be able to deal with it. Do I need to garrison the space? I do not. Okay. Right. It does actually give us something to work with over here. It doesn't do that much for us because, I mean, it like, sure it's a rail line, but it doesn't really help us that much. But we'll deal with it. I'm going to destroy these units anyhow. I mean, that was quite fortunate, but I'm surprised that went so well, actually, because that could have gone pretty badly, actually. But they did well. They kicked them out over here as well. Let's see. Yeah, we do have 40th and 34th divisions here now, which is good. That's good news. Every unit supply produced in Singapore doesn't have to be shipped from Japan into China. Oh no, but what I'm saying is, regarding heavy industry, is like, sure, heavy industry is nice, but the thing is, heavy industry, yes, it produces 2 supply, but the thing is, it's like, you're spending like 1,000 supply to repair that, so it's going to take about 500 days to pay for itself. There's no problem with having heavy industry, but I don't think it's worthwhile having it in Singapore. I think it'd be better to move it somewhere else. Well, build it up somewhere else, really. I mean, we have it there in Singapore. We have heavy industry there that's working and free for us right now, so I'm going to keep that there, obviously. But I'm not going to repair it in Singapore as far as I'm concerned, really. I think it'd be preferable to build it up in Korea, really. But yeah, I mean, we still have all the gains that we have from Singapore. But it's just one of those of I'd spend thousands of supply, and it'd take 500 days to actually have that repay itself. And I don't really need it. We'll build it up elsewhere where it's actually safer, can actually contribute to the war effort for a significantly longer period of time. I was going to say, oh, actually, he doesn't have amazing detection over here, so he's not aware of the heavy cruiser force. He's aware of some of the SW force there. Okay, we can work with that. Lacking a bit on supply there, but what I can do here then is tell them to cancel loan supplies. Now, the supply requirement should go down here, actually. Yeah, that should adjust, actually, considering that there's going to be... Well, there's already significantly less troops here. The air headquarters will be moving in here shortly. I was hoping it might have arrived this turn, but it'll be next turn, it seems. But yeah, that requirement's going to be going down here shortly, so that's fine. So I can have them on rest, too. Let's see. Yes, there you go. Oh, they're bringing a little bit of supply. Yeah, 300 supply, but 300 supply is still 300 supply. So they're going to be able to unload in here. Support size 2. I might be able to get them all into port, to be honest. Good, we've got some additional forces here to look after us. Nothing's docked here. I might be able to get them in there. Let's go ahead. If I disband these patrol boats and give that a go, I might only be able to get some of them in there. That's still good. Yeah, I'm only 3,000 tons over then, okay. What I'll do then is... Ooh, I need to look and see which task force it is. Which task force is this? That is 175 there, okay. Let's see. Well, that's going to be kind of the majority of them there. Yeah. Got to go ends there. Yeah, there we go. We'll take out those 2 ships there, we'll be fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, obviously that unit, when it's rebuilt, we'll manage that. Is it still too large there? 950 tons, that's annoying. Okay. That's fine. I one after... one and one another. Wait, what's this? Oh, this early is probably worth repairing, and one other thing to consider is after you repair it, the industry helps with supplies of the region without the need to ship it from Japan or later in the war. Well, that's true, but the issue is it's one of those of we are investing quite a lot there. Maybe it's worthwhile, but I'm not convinced it's worthwhile. We still have the industry that is there now that is actually producing for us throughout all this time, and it's free for us right now. I get what the argument is, but I'd rather have that industry built elsewhere which can actually support, well, the home isles. And obviously just keep everything, just keep it safe as long as we possibly can, really. Right, there we go. So I'll put some patrol boats in here. Apologies if I'm a little bit groggy today. Did not sleep very well last night. So freaking what? Absolutely awful, to be honest. Right, there we go. Give them those patrols there. Excellent. Okay, so we've got them there. We should have some supply. Well, actually, no, there is a unit in the way, so I don't think they'll go over here. Yes, Mark. But I'm not saying I'm not going to build up heavy industry, but it's going to cost me 1,000 to do it at Singapore. I'd rather do it at, over here than Korea, where it's safer. I think that one's... We can't argue with that one. I mean, which is going to come under threat sooner, rather than later? The heavy industry in Singapore, or the heavy industry in Korea? There is an argument, but I don't think it's worthwhile doing. And as far as I'm concerned, we are moving into Burma. So we do have light industry there. There's not much in the way of heavy industry over here in Burma. But I do intend to move here into India. And ideally we can capture the heavy industry and the industry in Calcutta and industrial zones like that, really. It's going to be something of a conquest policy for the most part. But we will have heavy industry begin to be built up elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, places where we could consider it would... I'm going to say definitely Korea is one of the best places probably for it. And the reason being it's just so well protected for the majority of the war there. I get what people's point is regarding Singapore, but the thing is, it's like, it's just not worth it. I mean, it will take 500 days. The issue is then we're spending that 1,000 supply to build it up in Singapore for it to then produce, like, supply after 500 days. It's just taking supply from the actual area, which would mean we'd have to bring more supply from home islands down to this area anyway. So it's like, well, I might as well build the heavy industry up in the home island area and have it shipped out if I'm going to ship it out anyway. But at least it's not draining the supply from this local area, which can be then used to actually further local conquest. Yeah, it's one of these. Okay. So we're still lacking supply here. It's building up slowly but surely. Yeah. I'm not enjoying the amount of disabled units over here, but it's not too bad. I need to keep an eye on these numbers, actually. I mean, there is a possibility we could potentially be overrun over here if I'm not careful. And it's making me worry, actually. Okay. Well, Singapore's been cleared of mines, so that's fantastic. We only ever claimed 1 ACM, so that's fine. But that means that we are able to now move up through here, which is excellent. Can we push any battleships in land on wheels to get more firepower? Well, we could just take the guns. You don't need to push the rest of the ship. That'll be fine. No, so that's good news then. So we can move up the actual Straits of Malacca now, which is excellent. So I'm going to clear Georgetown of mines. Yeah, so we're looking good then. We'll be able to take these bases, and I think we march into land then. 28 fighters, 18 bombers there. We do have the ability to move our zeros up into Indochina too now. So 31 of them are ready now. Worst mistake I ever made was having them move out via rail. That's cost me so much time. It's ridiculous. But at least they've actually had the opportunity to rest themselves somewhat. So that's okay, I guess. That's the only, like, silver lining there. Ah, so you see AKL out here. That's somewhat surprising. Okay. So seeing the usual forces out here then. Yeah, there we go. It's just not enough there to stop us from crossing over, so we'll be fine here. As we're going to have these forces loaded up then. As you can see that we have 4,325. What we'll do then is we'll go over. I mean, I could go over... I don't know, is it worthwhile to go over with the regiment first, or is it worthwhile to go for the SLF first? Probably, well actually, let's see. Cargo there, 1620. And that unit over there, that one has less assault value, but I think it has more in the way of actual guns, which makes a considerable difference. 75s, oh wow, those are actual AA guns there. Oh, that's nice. I didn't realise they actually had them built in there. That's quite cool. I'm quite impressed by that. Yeah, that one's lacking, but it's got more men, but it's lacking in terms of guns there. Huh. Yeah, they don't have the, That's pretty impressive. That's not bad, actually. How you doing there, AKK? Good to have you, my friend. Hello there, Nitrogen. Does the game have map modes? No, unfortunately. I guess maybe. You might be able to say it has some sort of map mode. I'll show those in a second. Right, so we have the SLF there. Experience and morale. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we'll have them shifted over there. Verified load. There we go. So they will be moving into Merrick over here. The beautiful thing is we're only crossing one hex, which is absolutely fantastic. So they really do not have to go very far, which is excellent. We'll be able to cover them pretty damn well with the Key 43 1Bs in the base there, which is nice. So they're going to load up. They do have 2 light cruisers over here to provide escort. What I can do then is actually have formed over here then an ASW task force as well. So what I'll do then is take the 11 Nauters. Well, actually, no, the transports are slow anyway, so what I can do is take the 14 Nauters. They will be... there's actually quite a few 14 Nauters here. But that should be pretty successful. Or at least they'll have more success. So what I can do here then... Actually, I'll tell them to follow the task force just so they don't inadvertently move into some enemy task force or something of that nature. So we'll have them follow that task force. Oh, we could actually have that task force one then, but no, I'll have them follow along. That'd be fine. Okay. Yeah, they're following anyhow. So we do have the Suzuya on hand to provide that security there. So we've got the regiment being loaded up there, so they'll be landing over here at Merrick shortly. We do have our invasion forces over here. Now, the invasion force... There we go. Okay. So they'll move 6 hexes. Their destination is 7 hexes. It might be... No, let's see. 6 there. It might be worthwhile to move up that a little bit further, but in all honesty, I might as well begin moving in there. I do want to try and avoid being in range of Sorry if we can. How do you want to deal with that unit in China that accidentally cut the units off? I've already got a unit being sent out there. What I've done is I've broken up that division there, the 27th, into different parts. So one element is going to go there. It's not going to cut them off from supply. Like, they're not cut off, because they can still have supply transit from here. It's not great, but they're not cut off. So that's fine. It is a little bit annoying, in all honesty. It is rather annoying. But it's not too bad. Right, there we go. Just means that we have to take it into consideration, but we'll move in there. Okay. No, it should be fine. It's a little bit annoying. Okay. So how are the units looking over here then? So we're looking at 29. So a fair amount of fatigue there. It'd be nice to have them given that time to rest, but I don't think it's worthwhile resting. We can rest as we march. I think we're going to keep on marching. We can see, I might want to leave one unit here, potentially behind, to recover. But I don't think it's potentially that worthwhile. We do have divisions moving this way that will have... Yeah, well, this is it. They're moving only 50 miles a turn here due to it being a secondary road. So we do have some time before we actually have to put them into combat mode, so that's fine. I mean, what we'll probably do then, see what their progress is next turn. If they move another 15, they'll be fine. We might be able to do 3 days of move mode, and then on the last day, combat mode, we might then have to... That might stretch into like 2 days. But we should be able to get away with a little bit more move mode there. Move a little bit faster. Okay. Now, the 6 RTAs moving north to Bangkok, which is good. The RTA Cav is ready to move into those bases as soon as we can get that unit into Bangkok. Okay, then we go to Chiang Mai. That's good. Chiang Mai has received some additional forces out here, which is good. We're really building up Chiang Mai now, which is excellent. And we also do have, importantly, another AA battalion. We also have a AA regiment, which is very much larger. Right, there we go. Brings with it a number of extra 75s. Yeah. Okay. Additional construction units over here are good. The base force is quite nice. The base force actually having a little bit more generalized assets as well. We've got the engineers. We also got some support over here. That support would be nice. Support in the base is just all round good. But yes, Chiang Mai has definitely been built up here quite considerably. So we'll be looking at level 3 then. Size 3 air base. Maybe next turn, maybe the turn after. Not long now. There we go. I moved in. I've started moving another aviation battalion here to Port Blair. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it'll be worthwhile when we do get it in here. Okay. Now, it does worry me regarding this position here. It worries me because, obviously, the lack of supply. The issue with that is they have a supply requirement, but it's going to move through these bases here, so it does take some time. Yeah, these guys in rest mode, which helps out. Yeah. Should be fine. It just worries me though. It just worries me. It does make me wonder if it's worthwhile actually turning these units around, but I don't think it is. I think we should be fine there. Okay. Hayashio. She can continue as she was. That one there. Yeah, we're going to expand Port Blair shortly. I have supply ready for it, it just needs to get up that way. So they can head back. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So there's all the supply available over here at Port Blair. I think we might actually have some construction units here available to move. But they're in the wrong actual mode to move them. But we should be able to pull some construction units out here actually that are available to move now. Let's see. Go into amphibious mode. I could actually disband them and put them into correct mode, so we'll do that next. So, construction units here then, looking good. We have base forces here. Base forces are quite nice. I mean, that aviation support's very good there. So I can carry 1,400. Supply is not really a problem. So what I'll do then is I'll take the 11th JAF base force there. Take the 11th. And I'm going to take these two construction companies here. I can potentially take some AA guns, but does it really make that much of a difference? Not particularly. I mean, it'd help, but does it really make that much of a difference? Is it worthwhile taking them there? Probably not. Okay. Verify that load. And we can have them begin to head north now. So they'll be heading out to Port Blair. I do have to be careful of Rangoon. We are going to have to suppress Rangoon shortly, but that can be done. There are subs in these waters as well, so I do need to be careful of that too. Okay. What I can do then is have these DMSs sent over here to Georgetown. So this is what the issue was. You've got to have the destination set, and that's how you get them to work. Now, we haven't identified the mines at Georgetown. At Singapore, we had a unit essentially run into them, which identified the minefield. But that minefield at Georgetown should have degraded quite considerably, so we should be okay. Should be okay. I mean, we cleared all the mines in Singapore in one turn with these guys, so we should be good. I mean, they're not going to arrive at Georgetown. Let's see, how far are they going to go? Yeah, so they'll be there, not the next turn, but the turn after. So that's fine. So we'll be able to get forces moving up that way. I mean, all these DMSs moving up the actual strait is not bad either. These guys obviously do have their depth charges, which is nice. We're going to be looking at moving our forces over here to secure Medan. Just secure the rest of Sumatra, essentially. That's all we need to do now. Okay. Yeah. So I do have the SLF paratroopers over here that'll be able to be shifted up shortly. I'd like to shift some of these battalions, but I could do with, I don't know, it's one of these, isn't it? AV's not too bad. Sorry, aviation support's not too bad here. Yeah, every ship can be a minesweeper at least once. Exactly, I like that. Right, so they pulled in here. So they're still unloaded, but they can actually go ahead and refuel from here, which is good. Plenty of fuel. How you doing there, Gary? Nothing tremendous. What was the biggest thing that happened? Well, we won the battle in Nanyang. Won this battle over here. Won that battle there, won that battle there. Won that battle there, but that unit retreated over here, which is rather annoying. So I'm sending a detachment to one of the divisions back there to deal with that. Yeah, should have had that done. I was going to do that, but that's fine. These units are marching over there. Beyond that, not too much. We're just working on a supply situation down here. We did clear Singapore of mines, so Singapore is now cleared and fully repaired, which is excellent. And actually, speaking of that, yes, I can actually go ahead and pick up the. I could pick up the construction units from Singapore if I wish to. No, there's no point railing them up to Chiang Mai. I've got enough construction units over here at Chiang Mai. Yeah, 128 engineers is quite a lot. Those engineers could be shifted to Port Blair then, perhaps. That'd be quite good. We could have them shifted there. How much damage took Manila Airfield? Oh, yeah, that's a good one to check. Yes, he's only at 10 here. So it looks like he repaired a decent amount of it last turn, and that does make sense, I suppose, because obviously he's going to have forces that are going to be recovering from fatigue and disruption then. Alright, see you later, have a good one. Now, let's take a look here then. Oh, 65th has arrived then. Oh, that's good news then. These units are moving out. Right, I'm glad they've arrived. This is marching to Clark, so this will be in Clark next turn. They're marching there to Mount Ban. Ah, looking really good then, actually. So they can stay in movement mode. Oh, looking excellent. I still do not know why there's so much supply here to Protagonist. It doesn't make sense to me, in all honesty, but okay. Let's take a look at our actual units here, then. So fatigue's down, which is looking good there. We could potentially launch an attack. Tank regiment has arrived as well. Yeah, there we go. So we're at 1,958 assault value. I could possibly give them a little bit more time to recover fatigue-wise. So do have a number of units there, 20s. We could probably attack. I will likely order an attack there. We've got the damage. We're facing lesser terrain. Should be okay. He's not moving anything over here at Batan. We are seeing these subs out here, which is interesting. He's definitely moving things around, I'd imagine. I think the sooner we attack at Manila, the better then. So what I'll do then is launch a provisional attack for... we'll have it a provisional attack order for now. Like so. These units need to be... well, fuck. I regret that immensely. That's the little aspects of War in the Pacific that really do wind me up sometimes. We haven't done that much to make it not worthwhile reloading, so I'm going to reload. I don't want to lose that progress. It's a little bit annoying, to be honest, but that's not too bad. Little things like that are rather annoying, though. Okay. Right, it's still heading out there, that's fine. Yep, okay. So you can actually head this way then. Okay. I would like these units here. Let's see. Where do I want to actually have them? So I've got the 35th here. By one more to use this one. Okay. We'll go back through things, that'd be no problem. Didn't do that much anyway. So I have the tank regiments here. Is it worthwhile resting here this day? That unit could do with the rest. The other units I think could move on. I mean, 10th Division there with 29 and 32 is a... I don't know. But then again, it's not that bad, isn't it? I mean, considering there's only one unit over here that has about 300 assault value. That terrain is wooded rough. Yeah, that's the problem. I think the sooner we move, the better. We can recover as we move. I will have them follow the unit with the least fatigue, though, in terms of actual divisions. That one's somewhat... I don't know, maybe it's worthwhile waiting a day. As far as I can tell, there's only a couple of units here. I don't think it particularly matters if he moves anything here, because we're moving from this way as well. I'd like to get those divisions marching there. We're not too far out with the mixed brigade, they're still marching there, okay. We'll march. I think it's worthwhile marching. They'll drop some of that fatigue anyhow. I may leave that one division there then, perhaps. I could rest a day, perhaps. Yeah, I think we'll leave that one division there. We can have it rest. And it allows us to actually hold on to the Nanyang area then, without any worries there, so that's not too bad. So set everybody to follow. Set all objectives to SunYan. Right, there we go. So yeah, we'll have 116th remaining position here then. What I'm going to do then is actually have that unit divided and rested like that. Okay, there we go. So that'd be a secondary road there. He's still within range to receive HQ support, but I don't think they need it much anyhow. So we're looking at using units on this side of the river now. Okay. They're going to march to the north. Is that a major road? No, that's only secondary, which is annoying. So in all honesty, better off march into the south, maybe? Not particularly. They're going to take a little while to actually link back up. I could have them move north, but then they're moving that way. I'm probably better off moving this way, then I can at least get to like a rail line or something. I could march just to the south here. And that's 2 hexes away, that's 3 hexes away. March to that one, I guess. But then again, it depends on which path they're going to take. Can they cross straight to that one? They should be able to cross straight to that one. But then again, it might be better off just marching this way. Let's see, what is the road there? So that's still secondary road. And that's a trail there, so that's even worse. So no, there's no point there. We'll have them march that way. I can get them on the rail line then. Yeah, it's all major there, so that's fine. Okay. Move them to Nanyang. Alright, okay. Yeah, I do need to retain a garrison here anyhow. I'll be able to find a Chinese unit to do that, actually. We'll have to look for one of those. That'd be something I'll probably do during the summary. Well, actually, I do have some units over here that can begin marching that way now to act as the actual garrison long term. So we'll get a Chinese unit marching out that way now, which is good. So that'll help us out. Now, we're making good progress. I do have the divisions that march across the river. Okay. Not seeing any unit movements. He's got this unit over here, but what I'm doing is actually marching the 104th Division across the river here. If he's going to move into that position there, what I can do is actually preempt that and begin marching there and actually destroy him in clear terrain. Because he's in clear terrain here. Either way. I've got to be mindful of a garrison. But I will be able to drop the division out there, and I should have enough anyway. I've got this unit over here. What am I actually going to do then? Well, actually, if I do that, if I move it now, it would probably get shock attacks. That's fine. I can leave it as is. What I'll do then is actually have it march to the north. Oh no, this one is a day at a time. 1 day at a time. Okay, they can do that. Now, I should actually have... Yep, I've got another aviation battalion here that I can have shifted, which is excellent. So I'll go ahead and grab that. But no patrols, which is less than stellar. That's not great. Okay. I do have some patrol boats I can actually head out that way to link up with them, so that's not too bad. So what I'll do then, I'm going to take one of these 14 knots because it's going to actually arrive there a little bit sooner than the other one. It's a bit of a risk, but I'm going to tell it to go ahead and meet with them. They're going to take some time to load up. They're going to load up very quickly in Hong Kong, but we should be able to get them out there. Let's see. And I could wait. Yeah, I'm going to wait to turn then before I start sending them out. There's no point risking them, is there? So we'll have them loaded up. There we go. They'll have a PP boat actually sent to link up with them, which is nice. Okay. Right. So I do need to go ahead and actually shift some supply into Pescadores. That's what they're doing. Yep, okay. Well, I can take that supply there elsewhere then. That's fine. So they're going to go to Pescadores, take that bit of supply, and then return. These guys over here have been moved into... move the rest of that unit. So I'm going to do that. There we go. That shouldn't take too long. So they can move in there to Lingayen. Where's the rest of that unit? Where's the rest of the 50, if anyhow? Oh, so that's San Fernando. Okay. I'll have them moved out to San Fernando then so they can actually link up with the rest of their unit. So they can move into San Fernando. Okay. Right, so we're looking at only 39 assault value here at this moment in time. We will have additional assault value moved in here, so it takes to 50 odds. I should actually have another 30 moving in then shortly. Yes, 31st Special Base Force moving across there. They've marched 21 miles, they've got 40. They'll march 30 today then, so they should be at Clark tomorrow. They're continuing to fortify Clark. Yeah, there's a lot of engineers over here actually, a surprisingly large amount of engineers. And that is a good deal of them, holy moly. And the units are recovering quite nicely actually. Yep. And we'll continue to fortify Clark then, just to make sure we have no threat to our rear, but he's not moving forces as far as we can see here. Hey, Doom, good to have you, my friend. Yeah, some nice big battles today, actually. Seen quite a few units there. I do feel tempted to actually bring a naval bomber group into the Philippines, just to make sure that any of these ships that leave we can catch. But I do have these guys moving back north, put them in surface combat there. There we go. BB's made it over here, which is nice. Right, so he wasn't actually running reconnaissance over the base, he was running them, running over the BBs there. That's good to know. I do have fuel being sent down here to Bardwab. I've run out of fuel for Bardwab for the time being, so I do definitely need to get it sent down there. If you can capture SunYan and Langkao, that would be amazing. Well, that's it, exactly. It would be very nice. We wouldn't stop there. We'd go for the entirety of this area here. So all these bases here. There is additional oil, I think, as well. Is it Hami? Oh, Rumchi. There we go. So Rumchi actually has another 51 oil there. And we do have some additional refineries. So yeah, we'd essentially go as far as we could through here and capture all of that. I think we should be able to manage it, to be honest. It should be doable. There's a few hundred AV in that area, but after that it really drops off. But the thing is, if we could actually get to that position there, he'd run out of supply in time. Right, so we'll get these guys marching then. Okay, there we go. I'd like to have a unit marched up over here then, just to hold the line. I do have 24th Division. I'm going to have 24th Division continue to move up that way. Yeah, we're going to manage that. So I'm going to have that unit move there. I need 20 odd AV there, so I'm going to shift a unit in there as well. So they can move in there to Luoyang. Do have additional forces moving there. Yeah, I got another 2 divisions across the river over here that arrived this turn. So I have 40th and 34th there to work with. So they're marching to Xinjiang, which is good. So we have a brigade here then. Let's see. Clear terrain there, wooded terrain here. Wooded, 3 units over here. Unit there. Okay. They're moving north, so we'll actually have some HQ support available for that, which would be nice. Okay, so I actually do not need a garrison there, which is interesting. Gives me a little bit of an option there. But yeah, I could do a march and north that way. I think what I'll do then is have that division rest this turn, and then I can actually have it shifted down. I do have a unit moving out here to actually relieve it. We do have 35th moving there. Yeah, 35th will be there next turn. So I'll be able to attack these units again in clear terrain. They'll likely withdraw to this area here or to the south, but likely to the north. Be able to manage that very nicely. We're looking pretty good. I think this is it. We've got a critical amount of mass. I mean, obviously allowed us to use the Kwantong army, and we are using that. These guys marching across. Yeah, they're planning for Langchao. And this is it. It's just going to end. I mean, you look at this. We're moving. We've had to take a further division, have it moved back just to be safer. But no matter what, those units would be defeated. They took some AV losses anyhow. They're annoying. They're a pain in the arse. I would have rather them been there. But, oh well. We'll manage it. But we are going to be in clear... Sorry, it'll be in rough terrain when we get there. Then we'll be fighting in clear terrain. And then we'll be across the river. And then we'll be looking towards SunYan. I mean, this is it. There's only clear terrain here. He doesn't have that many units, to be honest. When does the attack on the northern route begin? Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like we have so much there to work with. These guys, so they're 15 miles into the march. They'll likely make 30... Sorry, they'll likely get 30 tomorrow, then 45 the day after. And we should be able to put them in combat mode. But we'll see. I might put them... Well, maybe when they get to about 30, I might put them into combat mode, just to make sure, just in case anything that goes wacky. But they should be fine now. Yep. I'll go through this area during the summary. Well, after this stream, actually. Yeah, it's looking good. The area that worries me is Bigu, but that's fine. Let's get these guys moving north then. I think they're all 15 crews anyway, so there shouldn't be any reason to split these guys up. I think what I will do is have them move in possibly ASW mode north. Evan, at least they should be fine, man. Yeah, we'll have them move in ASW mode. They should be able to look after themselves then to a decent degree. I don't imagine he's got like subs waiting there, but you never know. Might as well have them move in a mode they can look after themselves in. There we go. They did clear quite a lot of mines here today. I'll change their bases when they arrive. Yeah, I just need to get forces moving across now, so let's see. So we're going to need amphibious assets to move then. Let's see. So over here at Singapore, let's see. If I go ahead and rebuild the Imperial Guard Division. So you rebuilt Imperial Guard Division is at 402 assault value now. So you can see they're recovering pretty quick. Okay. We need to have them planned. I'm tempted to have them begin planning for like Calcutta perhaps. But that might be putting the cart before the horse there really. It is tempting though. If I take a look, Calcutta is urban heavy. Yeah, jeez. Might be worthwhile going for Calcutta then, because that's going to be a hell of a battle there. The sooner we can get there, the better though. I'll consider what to do regarding their planning. They're nearly at 100. When you do change it over, they do lose pretty much 75% of it. You lose 3 out of 4 essentially. You only keep like 1 point per 4 of planning. Still lose it anyway. What I'm going to do then is split them back up and keep them in rest and training. These guys, yeah, they'll take some time to recover there. But you can see they're recovering quickly. 136 assault value. They'll get back up to strength soon enough. The majority of their unit, sorry, the majority of the division was disabled, but they did take a bit of a pounding there, unfortunately. But they'll be recovered quickly enough. Especially doing it like this, especially with as much support as they have here, they'll recover quickly. How you doing there, Op? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, trying to. I've been giving him hell on the land front so far, which has been nice. Yes, you can see there, support requires 100, sorry, it's 92, they have 143 there. So that's definitely helping them out. And then 33rd, we're looking at 336 there. So they're recovering quickly. Just need to recover those disabled squads, really. But we have divisions there that can be moved out. Imperial Guard Division and 33rd Division could be moved out. Oh, I'm moving a base force across to Johor Bahru to actually increase the amount of aviation support I have at Johor Bahru. So only have 24 there. We have a decent build-up, actually. Yes, okay. No, we're looking good. Right, get these units loaded up then. Actually, I'm gonna go without a unit. Right, get them loaded up. I may even have the actual light cruisers set up as a separate task force, and that might be a good thing to do there. So what I'll do then is take Tama and the patrol craft. Same again. The reason being I can actually have another 2 surface forces there to support them. Yep, how you doing there, Purple? Purple Tentacles, I like that name. Yep, I'm using the Hearthfire music. See, it is copyright free, which is fantastic. I do like that. Okay. So I've got 10 Notters in here anyway. They're not going to load up especially quickly. They'll probably be loaded up with troops next turn. Ideally, it's a size 3 port actually, so we should be able to do it fairly quick. And I could have a good chunk of them actually docked, and I think that's worthwhile actually having them docked up, isn't it, really? Ooh, that's a question. It's not that especially much. It's definitely below 1,000 AV. I can't remember what it is exactly. I think there is about 200 or so AV at Batavia to begin with, unless he's moved anything. I'm not too sure. Maybe 6 to 7, maybe 800 AV, something around that sort of region there. Not especially large amounts there. We'll be able to definitely do all that. So let's see. We're going to get the big boys into the dock. So that is 27,000 tons. I think I can't... How much could we actually manage? Was it 26,000 tons? Yes, we'll be landing in several places. We'll also be landing paratroopers as well. So only 24,000 tons there. So you can go back in there. Ah. So Task Force 162. Okay. Well, what I can do then is actually tell them, rather than load supply here, do not load supply. Right, there we go. So they'll just load troops. These guys can load the troops and supply. Is it still too big? Ah, 375 tons. Oh, come on. That's rather annoying. Right, we'll do that. So now I can dock you... and I can get you in here then. So that takes us to 22,000. There's nothing else I can fit in there, really. That's fine then. Right, so they're going to load up. They're going to load troops and supply. Yeah, so they're doing that. There we go. These guys, I'm going to have them follow Task Force 8, which is the main one there. There we go. And then what I'll do is break off ASW. There we go. They're not moving out this turn anyhow. Actually, I'll make sure they don't move out this turn. I want them to move out when I want them to move out. So we'll have them remain here at Oosthaven, so that's fine. What I can do then is actually have you patrol here. There we go. And we do have 2 light cruisers there. They're patrol boats. We do have a heavy cruiser here and its destroyers. We're looking pretty good. I don't think we're going to have any problems, essentially. Well, that's it. I mean, this is the point here, Op. Is like the next game I do play, things will go even better. There's like lots of little things that I could have done differently, even in this game. and I will do differently in the future. That's what I really do like about this game. But they're very different opponents. Deadman is really bloody good. I mean, THG is good, but they're different. Different opponents, different mindsets, different mentalities, different ways of doing things. I'm going to order another attack over here. I'm going to try and grind that unit down. It should surrender quickly enough. This unit over here can be loaded back aboard, and we can go ahead and start moving them elsewhere then. So load up. There we go. Yeah, well that's it exactly, yeah. And Danban's pretty baller like that. He'll just go in there. You're like, ah shit. Okay. So there's a lot of bases that we need to take. Gotta be quite economical. What I need to do then, that one is on the other side. So what I'll do then is take this one and then move to take that one. Or I could take these bases, but we'll move to take, so that's 5 hexes. That's 7 hexes. We'll take that one. And there we go, go take that. Right, our 6th Gen AF has arrived over here, so this is 11th Air Flotilla. So the beautiful thing about that is we will be able to turn this into a general defense base, and we're going to actually have things set up here. There's a sub I've got to watch out for, but we should be able to manage that. I say should. It's not going to be ideal. So we are probably going to have some problems there, but we'll manage as best we can. Yeah, I've got a lot of subs over here. I'm going to have these subs actually giving orders to move out shortly. So let's see, we haven't looked down this way yet, have we? It keeps suggesting as a tanker, but we've seen it suggested. Oh, we've seen it identified as more than one ship, and we've seen it identified as an AK beforehand. So who knows really what's going on there? Right, okay. Large number of ships there. He doesn't have information on Rabal right now. Does he have information on these ships? He has some information on the troop transport there, but nothing else, which is nice. So at least we've got that to work with. We do have just shy of 10,000 units of fuel here now. There's another 8,471 units of fuel to be unloaded here, so that's good news. We have more supply being unloaded into the base as well, so there's another few thousand tons of supply there. Yeah, we're looking good. We've begun to build up the airbase again, so we're at 60% here into size 6. After we get to size 7, or when we start to see him move again, we'll start building fortifications, to be honest. He's a tricky boy. He's certainly a tricky boy. But ideally we do have information, and we do have prior warning to give us the ability to react. Right. I wonder if he's actually running ASW there. 3 ships makes sense, PG there makes sense, these are likely, and I think he did have position on his last turn. So it's likely an ASW force there, so I'm going to have that ship move. They're still in deep waters, but I still don't want to take any damage there. Not seeing anything else. We saw something around this area which does concern me. So we don't see it right now. Right, so what we're going to do here then. Enemy units, task forces. So we're only seeing down here as well, and over here in the Philippines as well. Yeah, so we saw B-17s out this way. Yeah, he's running that ASW hard in that area. Right, so they need to be docked. Replenish them from the port van. There we go. And then head back over here to pick up the rest of those troops. So retirement is allowed. There we go. That's fine. Okay. So let's see then, the path they're going to take then, so that's ASW1, which is the lead force there. So they're going to be heading to that position there. I need to take this into consideration then. What are we looking at in terms of range from Surabaya? So that's 8 hexes. We're looking at 7 there. He's likely going to have range over us anyway, so I think we might as well just move in towards Surabaya now. Well, sorry, not Surabaya, but the name of the base. I always forget the bloody name of the base there. I like how you shied away from that Chinese quagmire, something I believe in. Well, he's given us the opportunity. Deadman hasn't moved really much on the ground front, which is nice. It really helps us out. So a lot of things we've achieved we wouldn't have been able to achieve against other players. But hey ho. Right, so I'm not going to make the same mistake here again. Attack Manila. Yeah, fatigue's not too bad. We can manage with that. If they're all set to bombard. And these guys are going to have attack as well. Yeah, they're all set there. You're set for target. The only units I do not want to actually attack are going to be the units moving out of here. So these guys are moving on out, so they're not going to attack here then. I'll have them in combat mode, considering they'll actually be fine. They'll arrive next turn anyhow. So yeah, that'll give us the AV we need at Clark then, just to make sure it's safe. We do have additional forces moving into Clark. Let's see, how am I looking in terms of actual aviation? So I've only got 24 here. I've also got these bombers I've shifted in here as well. But we do have more actual aviation support moving in. Ah, yes, I need to come... yeah. Okay, you're moving to San Fernando. You're loading. And a PB is moving out to join you. That's good. Okay, had to make sure I did that. Let's see... Ah, yes, here we go. I do have you loading fuel over here. They've only loaded up 3,000. You can see fuel's moved to Kagoshima. There was actually, sorry, Kagoshima. There wasn't that much here last turn, but fuel's moving here because obviously they're requiring it. But that's going to be going south and heading to Bardwab. Trying to move assets around Japan, move them to where they need to be. You can see all the submarines heading to Shirojima. They're going to be operating in the north. We're going to be essentially wolfpacking it to a degree. We know he's operating AEVs at Laysan and French frigate Scholl, so we can use that against him. So let's see then, single intelligence, Tacoma. Okay, that looks to be Siberia. Heavy volume radio transmissions at Anchorage and San Francisco, and Darwin. Darwin's interesting. I do have a lot of subs over here though to be able to respond if we see a convoy. Doubtful them. Okay, so our fast transports have arrived over here at Tulagi. Excellent news. They've only just arrived. Please tell me they're undetected. Ah, thank God they're undetected. Excellent news. Okay, when you do get the hell out, head towards truck. Time it allowed. Now, I can only handle, I think, about 6,000 tons here, with it being a size 1. If I could get one ship into port to unload via the dock, that'd be well worthwhile. I might be able to get 2 in there if I can handle 6,000. Yeah, there we go, that's well bloody worthwhile there. Right, then head back. Yeah, that's excellent there. So at least we have that working for us. Yep, 6,000, excellent. Okay. So that's going to get in, ideally, I mean, if they survive, that's going to be brilliant news. We do have supply moving into Buin now, which is good, so that's docked and unloading there. They are undetected as well, but he knew it was here. But yeah, I just need to get that supply to those bases, resupply them, we'll be good to go. We can see that Rabal now is completely repaired, which is excellent. Building that base up, which is good to see. These units still have some fatigue and etc. But that's natural, that's due to the fact that it is a malaria area. But once we do build up Singapore, once we do build up Rabaul to be like Singapore, we won't suffer that. And that's one of the beautiful things about Singapore, is because it has a size 9 port and size 6 airfield. I forget what the number is when you combine airfield and port size. There's a certain number that you have to reach before you actually are immune to malaria. But these units will have far lower fatigue levels, like you can see these units in single digit. So these guys will actually have a better time of recovering. Just a better time operating in general, really. Which is quite good. You can see these guys over here have actually pretty low fatigue, but that's because they've been in here a long time, just on rest and training. Which is why they're probably not suffering anywhere near as badly as elsewhere. Well, again, it's actually a size... It's got 4 and 4 there. Interesting. Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, we're building that area up. I'd like to move into the Aleutian Islands, to be honest, to be able to take control there. But I've got all these submarines I've been moving in to refuel here at Paradigmblue. Issue is no fuels there at this moment in time. But we'll get them moved in there. Loading up there. And they'll be moving across there to Paradigmblue. Okay, that's fine. I might shift a few more tankers up there to the north. I've been taking the fuel at Toyohara and actually having to use over here at Paradigmblue to allow. We are building up that airfield, so we're at size 1, moving to size 2. I'm going to build up the Kurils. The good news is I can actually have this assigned to general defense if I so wish to do so by changing around a few commands. So the beautiful thing is I can essentially extend general defense all the way to just every single Kuril island if I want to, which actually really, really helps us out. So building up these airfields is really well worth it. And I could even have these islands when we capture them change to general defense quite easily, so that's brilliant news for us. Now we're looking good, we're getting there now. So these guys are loading up. It does worry me. It does worry me here. I'm going to have you shifted out there as well. Actually, no. I mean, mine sweep, mine layer without any mines is worthwhile risking, you know, not particularly. Ugh. I may take the 11 knots around there, because it's just going to slow us down otherwise. I guess I'll put you in there. Need to have you fueled, but that's okay. Yeah, it's worthwhile. I mean, it allows us to actually move. These guys aren't slow. I just do not want them to get hit. And in all honesty, it'd be worthwhile to probably wait. So what I'm going to do then is, let's see. I'd like to get like an actual proper escort out there. I mean, that would be highly preferable, in all honesty. I do have the cruiser and destroyer out here, so I can potentially use that as an actual escort. The cruiser doesn't matter, and in all honesty, I'd rather not use the cruiser. Are they not done loading? Why are they unloading? Ah, for fuck's sake. They should not be unloading. Something's clearly been bloody wrong. I've got to stop doing the turns late at night, because there's all things like this that get missed. They should not have unloaded, but that's rather annoying. Yeah, they were meant to follow the DDs there. That's rather annoying there. God damn it. It's not a major deal, but it's annoying. Okay, so they'll have to wait a little bit longer then. That is rather annoying. I might potentially use those DDs then to head down here to Kandorai, and then at least I can actually have them as an escort then. So I suppose you take the good with the bad. So they can head out that way. I suppose it's not too bad. Okay. So if I take that out of here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should be about there tomorrow. We'll be ready to move in then to the port the next day. The good news about that is we'll actually have a lot of time to unload during the night, which is excellent. So that should help us out to some degree there. But now what we need to do is just obviously cap that quite heavily. I did move the zeros of the Tainan KUS out here. I do somewhat regret doing it, to be honest, but I suppose it's not too bad to have them available to use as escorts. Yeah, I do somewhat regret it, though. Probably should not have moved them here. Probably should have just had them continue moving towards Indochina. But I thought they could come in handy. And they can come in handy. I can have them use as LRCAP over the forces there. But at least that gives us the long-range escorts that can actually mete out punishment. Okay. I could potentially have the 77th Sentai. Where's the 77th Sentai go? Makassar. I could potentially have them shifted to Java immediately then. Or I could have them shifted elsewhere. I have to think on that one. Ooh, actually, regarding truck. Yes, awesome. There we go. You're loading. Ah, right, okay. Huh. You've loaded fuel as well? I mean, somewhat surprising on that one. I suppose because it's cargo, I didn't realise they do that for both of them, but that's good to know. Right, so we have our PBs here then. Katakami and Iceycrome made it in here alive, which is excellent news, one would say. Yeah, we've got you guys here, so I'm going to have you use their dispatch transports. Actually, retirement allowed is a good one. Right, Doc can get that supply moving south. Just need to have a consistent flow of supply moving down this way, so we are going to need it. So head for Finnshafen. You guys, same deal. I could have them move as a single unit, to be honest. Yeah, so we'll shift that 4,000 supply down there. It's well worthwhile doing. It should load up pretty quick at truck as well. So that can be shifted into Finnshafen. I mean, we have 7,392 supply here now. 248 supply there. I'm going to need more supply in this area. We're looking good at Rabal, but I'm going to need more supply in that area. Building on Kavyang. I do need to build up an air base as well. We're getting there now. We are getting there. If we can have a couple more turns really undisturbed out here, we'll be in a much stronger position. But we are in a position where we do have forces able to move out that way. So if we take a look over here, sort of, yeah, there you go. So 31 zeros are ready now. Obviously, each turn brings another 5 zeros. So we have 10 zeros in the pool right now. So we can obviously continue to beef these units up, which is nice. Now, let's see. The aircraft over here. So we're almost finished repairing, which is nice. There we go. And this is it, even a Rabal, I mean, we don't have all the zeros repaired. I mean, of course, there's some A5 and 4s in there. But you take a look at that number of 66 ready, obviously minus there the 14. That's not bad. We're looking at, what, 52... God, I'm doing maths on camera. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. It's the pressure. But we're looking at a good number of zeros there, which is excellent. Obviously, we're going to have a few more ready then shortly thereafter. I mean, what we need is we need about 100 or so zeros in this area. Or just 100 or so fighters in this area. A good number of actual naval bombers. And then we can actually put up a serious bit of resistance against any forces he has in that area. It's looking good. I'm looking forward to when it gets finished. But yeah, we need to build up this area. I think what we'll do then is actually have a air HQ move to Cape Gloucester in time. But we just need to build up all of these bases here. Just so many bases need to be built up, and they need to be built up ASAP. What I'm going to do here is actually take one of these units and have it moved down to Buna. And considering I can actually change the headquarters of the base, I might as well get them started there. If they can get there, they can get there. They might not ever get there, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay. So they're taking 1,000 supply there to Finnshafen. Is where they're going to take it, so Finnshafen there, please. There we go. We don't want to be caught out in a situation again where we just don't have a supply in place to actually allow us to do the things we need to do. So the situation down here could have gone considerably different had we had that supply in place. Right, okay. So these guys, yeah, they'll begin moving north this turn. And they're moving across there. I need that supply there. I may go ahead and actually have the Imperial Guard Division loaded aboard and actually have shifted north. But frankly, I just need supply moving north more than anything. There we go, yeah, 21st is recovering quite nicely. We do have these actual fleet headquarters here as well. Now, that's the naval HQ, so it doesn't allow for torpedoes. while our Southern Fleet is also a naval HQ, so I don't think it actually should allow for torpedoes either. They do give us that naval support, which is nice. We have 516 naval support there, so we can work with that. Okay. But yeah, at long last, the straits are clear now, so we'll be able to move up here and just deal with things. So I need to get things shifted north. Do I have my SLF unit here yet? Not yet, but it'll be on its way. Yeah, there we go. So they've got a fair few miles to march, but they'll be able to do it. We can shift up that naval guard unit then. I do have a koi moving here. Right, about doing that. Okay. It'll take about 2 days or so for any AKs to arrive at Singapore, so that's not too much of a worry. If I take a look over here, then we're looking at Ocean Channel. So what I might do then, actually this is mostly, it's Ocean Channel in this entire bloody area, isn't it? Okay, that's good to know. So what we need to do then is we need to get some AKs headed out to Singapore then. Then again, saying that, I might just have them move directly to Georgetown. But I might take the Imperial Guard Division. And they're in good shape. I think being able to bring a division north would be a nice thing to have there. We are going to be bringing multiple divisions to the north, in fact. So let's see, speaking of that. These guys have arrived over here, so that's 114th. They're going to take some time to unpack, but they're going to move across to Georgetown. So we'll be able to reform the 18th Division then, ideally. I do have this regiment here, which is 29 miles into that march. It takes so long. They've been doing that for such a long time, but then they'll be able to cross over here to Georgetown. We'll be able to get them moving. So it might be actually have the forces move to Singapore, considering it's going to be quickly done, then have them shifted north. I can have the Imperial Guard Division then take Megui and Tavoy march north. I might even, if I'm feeling bold, I might even have them moved into Mulmian. Level 2 port there. Yeah, and I need some aviation support moving out that way. I do have this koi moving to Mulmian. And this is the issue with it being secondary road, it takes so long. No. And the best thing I could do would probably be to land at Tavoy. I could actually have the division loaded up as a separate unit, and then I can actually have like 2 amphibious detached. Well, yeah, have 2 detachments land at these guys over here. And then I could probably have like 2 detachments land here at Tavoy. And we could take those, and then get that supply moving northwards immediately then. Rather than like landing here as a division and then march into the north, that'd make more sense. And with that, I don't really have like an aviation battalion as such, as a bit of a pain. I could take the actual army headquarters as well, but then again, saying that, is it worth it? No, actually no, it would be. I do have Southern Army moving north, but I don't actually have any headquarters as such in this area, which is obviously quite the nasty thing to not have. Okay, have them like that. Yeah, I need to get forces into this area, operate against the actual Hudsons and etc. He's got a decent number of bombers there, but I can deal with that. I don't know if that number's actually increased. He did have some ships moved into port this turn, so I'd have to take a look at that from last turn to see what the numbers are. I just need the zeros in place so I can actually guarantee security, and I might move the zeros from Banjmarsen. Yeah, I could potentially have them move to... And Singapore is at 96. Maybe I do just keep that base force in Singapore. Probably worthwhile doing, to be honest. Those zeros can be moved out. These key 48s can be moved out. Yeah, I think we'll just keep them in Singapore, actually. Because then I can actually have forces moved into Singapore, where it's a very large air base. It's well provisioned, yeah. No, it makes more sense, like, here, actually. Right, you remain here. Okay. No, we're looking pretty good. We'll be landing at Java shortly. What aircraft do you have at Port Blair? The right aircraft could force anything if you have... Well, this is it. We only have the Key 46s here at this moment in time. These are just obviously the reconnaissance assets right now. What I'm going to have done then is actually have a couple construction units moved over here to Port Blair. What I need to have shifted as well from Palembang is I need to have the 22nd Air Flotilla shifted out from Palembang. So I'm going to have the 22nd Air Flotilla move to Port Blair. So what we'll do then is get the construction units and the airfield to Port Blair. We'll have Port Blair built up very, very quickly. The good news is that the, well, we have a level 2 fort, sorry, a level 2 port, which makes things easy. So we can actually unload things pretty quick. But I need to have, like, at least a level 3 level. We need level 4 airfield, but yeah, as soon as we've got construction units in there, we'll be able to build the base up pretty quick. Within a couple of days would be a level 2, a few more after that, level 3, a few more after that, level 4. And that'll shut down all this area then. But I think we'll be in a position to do that anyway. I mean, we do have a large airbase growing out here at Chiang Mai, which is nice. I don't have torpedo capability here, but I will do because I do have Southern Army moving north. We do have a number of assets moving north. Yep, there we go. There's Southern Army. Southern Army being a command HQ will be able to allow for the use of torpedoes. And it has that 9 command radius. So that's excellent news. So that being over here at Chiang Mai will allow us to just, like, yeah, have HQ support in all these areas. It looks like it's shifting units down to Rangoon, actually, which is interesting. In a lot of ways, that's probably a better thing to have there. You know what, maybe I'm worrying too much. These guys have the supply they require. Let's have them continue to march north. Yeah, I was worried. I was almost about to cancel their movement and have them move back to Bagu. But I can't do that. I mean, that's the thing here. We do have our supply moving into the area. Like, this base has the supply it needs now. It doesn't need that much. It needs to have 3 times before it actually moves them out there. Nice foreshadowing and forecasted. Yeah. Oh dear. I do worry about that area. I do worry about it because of the supply situation there. They've been transferring supply there, which is something that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ops report. And there we go, we have a number of assets here now. Yeah, so they were transporting supplies there. That's interesting. Balboa. Where the hell is Balboa again? It rings a bell. It rings a bell. Why does it ring a bell? Where the crap is Balboa? Off map. Oh, that's the wrong one there. Ah! That makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking, where's Balboa? It rings a bell, and I'm thinking, I can't remember where it is on the map now, but that makes sense. Port Blair could also help with operations against Rangoon. Well, this is it. I think we'll probably have Rangoon by that point. I think what we'll do then is actually have assets move to Singapore to facilitate the moving of the Imperial Guard Division. I think it does make sense to have them moved. I'll move them as detachments so I can capture the 2 bases here. And then what I could do is have them march from Tavoy to Vigu. And the thing is going to take a little while, but the thing is it's all major road. But if I can get the supply into those bases, then the Thai division becomes significantly more dangerous again. We'll have it soon. We're going to have Rangoon in February, which is about a month early, which is nice. Yeah, having Port Blair is going to be excellent. It'll allow us to actually strike out at the Bay of Bengal there. So we're looking good there. Okay, so we're going to leave it off about here then. So thank you so very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. I do apologise for sounding really, like, drab today. Just didn't sleep that much last night. Sucked. So warm though. So I'm gonna say a big thank you here to my patrons. It's been a little while since I did that, so I wanted to do it in person. So big thank you here to Mr. Ove Cato Borsheim, Susana, Daniel, Stanislav Shchebetov, Alex Diligent Gravy, Paradigmblue, Thunder, Erkkijuusto, Dingobat, Mr. Baines, KO, BLeAcHACiD, Eric Wild, Spacht, Imperator Thrawn, Rick Chambers, James Lindsay, Iceycrome, Tanwanda Eve, deepicduck, Raphael, SunYan, The Forgotten Lord Luba, Ricky Blinson, and Gregory VanHouten. Thank you very much to all of you, and to all of my past patrons as well. You guys are superb. I very much do appreciate your support. But if you guys do feel like I've earned your support, and you feel like you wish to actually support me as a content creator, please do consider becoming a $1 patron. That is all I'm asking for. If you guys can spare $1, that'd be much appreciated. You think of it, a year's worth of membership, $12, helps me out pretty massively. I don't like begging, but I'm begging here. But it's up to you guys. Look after yourselves first and foremost. That's the thing to do there. So I will say, until next time, I assume in a sigh, even though it's not the evening as of yet. I suppose I could say konbanwa. Yeah, well, that's not like a goodbye. I'll stick with the oyasuminasai. I'll see you later, guys. Oyasuminasai. There you go, oyasuminasai. God, I'm too tired. Until next time, thank you very much, and goodbye for now.